What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. You guys, season 1, episode 2, and this is chapter 2, The Spirit Queen. You guys, so before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel and you guys aren't yet subscribed, then I'm gonna need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications, sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into Pretty Little Liars, the original sin. And if you don't know where that comes from, it comes from the original Pretty Little Liars theme song. All right, you guys. So this episode, we open up and we see Imogen, right? So we are 6 months. We went back 6 months, and this is back before Imogen got pregnant. So we see everyone who is, we see everyone, and they are at a party. So we see Imogen. So Imogen is getting drunk, and then like Imogen was really good friends with Karen and with, is it Kelly? I think her twin sister is Kelly, but we'll talk about that. So Imogen wanted some more beer, right? So Imogen suggested that they tell Greg to go get some beer, and both Imogen and Kelly, I think that's her name. I know it's in my notes somewhere else, but I believe it's Imogen and Kelly. I think it's Kelly. So they wanted Greg to go get some beer, right? So Karen says, you guys go tell Greg yourself. So then we see as Tabby showed up, she came there with Chip. And when they got there, Chip was immediately ready to go. We see Noah was there. So Noah was there with her boyfriend. So then we see Imogen. So Imogen did find Greg, right? And she says, hey, Greg, Karen wants you to do a beer run. And he was like, damn, like a man can't have a few minutes to himself, right? So then he says to Imogen that he wishes Imogen could be more like, well, no, he wishes Karen could be more like Imogen. Kelly, so that is correct. So we see Kelly. So Kelly went back up to, and she found Karen, and she whispered something in Karen's ear, right? So what she whispered in Karen's ear is that she saw Imogen kissing Greg. So Imogen comes, so when we see Imogen, Karen is going off on Imogen about, you kissed my fucking boyfriend, you fucking slut. And the way she was talking to Imogen, I'm like, Imogen, baby, you should have popped the bitch. So then Greg comes in, right? So instead of Greg diffusing the situation, saying that he came on to Imogen, because Imogen is saying that it didn't happen that way. Like, if you saw it, then you would have thought that Greg came on to me. But Greg came in. Greg said that Imogen came onto him, and then we paused there and we went to the present day. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to pause here, and I am going to go into our present day. So present day, you guys remember at the end of the first episode that the girls all had gotten in trouble because of things that had happened to Karen, right? You guys remember that, so you guys remember that Imogen and Tabby are in detention because of the flyers, right? Farron is there because of the razor blade that was in Karen's dance shoe. Mouse is there because of the dead mouse. And then you guys know that Noah is there because of her failed drug test, right? So remember, they all want to get back at Karen. So we also find out that at that party, everyone was at the party with the exception of Mouse and Farron. So Imogen says that there's this video that she has that if she can find it and post it, that it would basically destroy Karen. So Tabby says, okay, well, you guys know I'm doing my screening of, the Jordan Peele movies. What I could do is I could edit it, and we can definitely, use it at the screening. So the Imogen then tells them she has the video on a phone at her home. And they were like, the home that you're, yep, that home. So then we see all the girls. So they are at Imogen's crib as Imogen is trying to find this phone. And I was with the girls. I'm like, this is creepy. Her mother unlived herself here allegedly, and we're in this house and it's creepy. So Imogen, she does, show back up, gave the girls a jump scare. So then she says, that they need to charge the phone because they're asking her whose phone is this. She never told them whose phone it was, right? So they go to a restaurant so that way she can charge up the phone. So when they charged up the phone, she showed them the video. She tells them, turn the volume down so nobody can hear it. And one of them, I don't know who it was, somebody asked her, is this a sex video? And she says no. So we have some of the girls who want to show the video, but I think Imogen is like one of the, Imogen doesn't necessarily know if they should show it or not, but they take a vote of who here thinks that we should show this video of Karen. I raise my hand. Let's show the video of Karen, right? Karen is a complete and colossal bitch, so let's show it. So then we see all the girls, they went home, right? So in this scene, we found out that Mouse, aka her name is Minnie, we found out that she has two mothers. I was like, okay, cool. So all of their parents are going off on them, right? And I noticed this in the Sharon Leal from I most know her from her role on Boston Public, but I know she's done many others. And I was like, oh, okay, I love her. I love her. I love Sharon. So everyone's parents are going off on them. Minnie's moms are going off on her about the dead rat. Farron's mom is going off on her about the razor blade. Farron's mom is going off about the razor blades. Tabby's mom, Tabby's mom is kind of going off on her, but not really going off on her at the same time. And then we know Imogen's mom is no longer here, so it's no. And then Noah's mom was going off on her about her failed drug test, which we know. I mean, we know that none of the stuff that's happened is really the girls, right? So we see each girl as they're in their rooms, and they all get individual text messages from A, right? So A has sent each one of them a text message. A sent Minnie a video of themselves unliving that damn rat. I was like, oh wow, very gruesome. Then A also sent Farron a video of A putting the razor blade in, her shoes. And then we know that Tabby and well, we didn't see it. We just saw Tabby get the video, and Tabby asked Imogen, did she get it? And it was the video of A destroying Karen's posters. And then we see, here's the interesting thing about Noah's video. So Ace sent Noah a video of them putting, I know it was dirty urine in there, but where did you get the dirty, like, is A on weed? Does A smoke weed? Like, damn. So A basically fucked all the girls over. And I was like, damn. So I want to pause here, you guys, and we're going to move forward. So it is Thursday. So we see Tabby. So Tabby is telling Karen about her screening. So you guys know that Imogen and Karen are going to be running for Spirit Queen, right? So Tabby is telling Karen about her movie premiere that she's going to be doing, in hopes that the narcissism in Karen is going to want to come to see what they're doing for Imogen, because that's exactly what Tabby said, is to support my friend Imogen. So Karen is like, okay, I'm going to be there. I'm like, what a dummy. So Noah, we see her, and she's talking to her boyfriend, and she tells him, this dance is all about you and your friends, so why don't you go, even though I can't come? So then we see Tabby. So Tabby is talking to Chip, and Tabby wants Chip to help her with the tape, right? Actually, she showed him the tape, and he thinks that this is just doing too much. So they basically make a deal with each other. He says to her, if I put this on, will you then go to the dance with me? She says yes. I don't know how Tabby doesn't see that Chip likes her, but Tabby doesn't see that Chip likes her. So we see everyone is at this. So we're at the screening. We see everyone is at the screen. We see Imogen. We see Tabby. We see Noah. We see Mouse, Farron, Karen, Kelly, Chip, Wes, the whole crew is here. Everyone is here, including A. A is there as well, right? So, remember, now I didn't tell you guys. So when they were originally doing this, because they don't want people to be able to take their phones out and record it. So what Tabby said she can do, she can edit it a certain way, and then so she edited it, right. So on the video, they showed it. So on the video, she's talking about how little Greg's dick is, and she saw that and she was like, "What the hell?" So she got up and she ran out, right? So then we see Imogen talking to the other girls, and Imogen is still once again wondering if they made the right decision by posting this video of her. And everyone, including myself, says, "You absolutely did." Karen got a taste of her own medicine. So then we see Wes. So Wes is going off on Chip for showing that, right? Mind you, Wes didn't really see it. Wes came in after Karen ran out of the theater, but he's going off on Wes. And then Tabby comes in and she tells Wes, like, "Hey Wes, stop going off on Chip. It wasn't Chip, it was me." And so he told Chip, "You know what, Chip, go home for the night." And I was just like, "Oh my God, Tabby, please get away from Wes. Wes is disgusting." And it's so funny looking at Wes with Tabby, right? Because I'm pretty positive Wes is some years older than Tabby. And it's really interesting now. This is a spoiler alert if you guys have never watched the original Pretty Little Liars. You guys remember, and the funny thing is, when I was watching the original Pretty Little Liars, I was 20, I was around the same age as the girls that portrayed, that was playing on there. I think I'm the same age as Ashley, the young lady who plays Hannah, who was if you guys asked me who my favorite character was from the original Pretty Little Liars, it was Hannah. I loved Hannah Mirren. I loved me some Hannah. And that's actually how I got into Pretty Little Liars, because I followed the girl Ashley Benson who plays Hannah. I first knew about her from her role when she played on Days of Our Lives. She played a character by the name of Abigail. So that's when I first found out about her. And when I found out she was on Pretty Little Liars, I started watching it because of her, and I got hooked onto it. Me and my best friend got hooked on it. But it's so interesting. When I look at Wes and Tabby, I get repulsed. I get disgusted by him, right? And then I think back to the original Pretty Little Liars with Aria and Ezra. It's interesting, right? Because when I look, even though I knew back then the relationship between Aria and Ezra was inappropriate, completely inappropriate. But the difference with Aria and Ezra is Aria, when she first met Ezra, she lied to Ezra about her age. She told Ezra she was in college. Then come to find out, when he went to the high school to teach, that's when he found out Aria was younger than what she said she was. She wasn't in high school. She wasn't in college. She was in high school. So that was an inappropriate relationship. But looking back on the original and this series, the original, a lot of people applauded Aria and Ezra. A lot of people wanted Aria and Ezra together. And I can see what's going on. But I guess, I think if I have to say it out loud, the difference, like I said, the difference is Ezra, when they first got together, Ezra fought that relation, fought against it, but he didn't fight against it that hard. He didn't fight against it that hard. But Wes is just a creep. Wes is just a creep. But these relationships as much as I loved Aria and Ezra, they kind of do mirror. Just slightly. Alright, you guys, so where are we at? So, now we did have a flashback scene where Davy was talking to Imogen, right? And, she's telling her that she doesn't like Karen because Karen is a mean girl, and she's basically telling her that you are who you hang out with. And I was like, isn't that the pot calling the pot kettle black? Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black, right? Because you were the mean girl with your friend group. But I guess she doesn't want history repeating itself. Interesting. So we're going back to the night of the party, right? And she got a text. Oh, Imogen got a text to meet Karen. I was like, she got a text to meet Karen. Imogen got a text to meet Karen. So then we find out what happened, how Imogen came to have that tape of Karen. So what happened is when Karen kicked Imogen out of her home that night, Imogen forgot her sweater. So Imogen had to go back to get her sweater. So when she went back to get her sweater, that is when she found, I think his name is Tyler. So we find out that Karen was drunk off her ass, right? She had slept with Greg. She had lost her virginity to Greg that earlier that night. That's why she was saying those things that she was saying. But Tyler was basically taking advantage of a drunk girl. So Imogen came in and helped her. Imogen, I'm sorry. Ain't no way in hell I would have helped a bitch like Karen. And then she's still being a bitch. Girl, nah. Karen would have been on her own that night. She would have been on her own. Like literally, Karen would have been on her fucking own. But you guys, let's pause here and let's move forward to the next day. All right, you guys. So we're at Friday. So we see Tammy and Imogen, right? So they're walking to school, and Imogen tells Tabby that she previously, the night before, that she met with Karen at the cemetery. And she was like, the cemetery? She's like, yeah, that was our spot to go to. Why the cemetery? So Imogen says that Karen, because Imogen went off on Karen about, knowing that she destroyed her posters, the stuff that happened with Mouse and, Farron and everything. They know it was Karen, but Karen said that wasn't her, which we all know that wasn't Karen either. So we also see that the Black Swan didn't show up, and Farron said, well, I can take that part. I can do that. The teacher's like, absolutely not. I was like, well, damn, you ain't got to be a bitch either. So the young guy, Henry, who's in the play with her, he follows in behind her, and he says, I can talk to the teacher for you if you want. She says, don't do it on my behalf. So then he says, he asks her, are you going to the dance? And she says she hadn't really put much thought into it. So then we see Karen, who we think is Karen. So she went to talk to the principal, and she says that she wants to withdraw from Spirit Queen because she is the one who destroyed her posters, not Imogen and Tabby. So, and she says that Imogen should be Spirit Queen. Now, we see as Karen went home, and we saw the real Karen. She was in her phone reading the comments talking about people hate her. And, Kelly was the one that talked to the principal, and Karen was like, did he realize that you are not me? She says, no, he did not. And then, when she was talking about people hate her, Kelly says, oh, no, people don't hate her. They're just bored. No, people hate her. So what they want to do now is they want to get back at, Imogen for posting that video at the screening. And they want to do it a la Carrie style. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the movie Carrie, so at the dance, that was it the prom? Whatever it was, they had a bucket of blood, right? And they dumped all the blood onto Carrie. And she had a moment where Carrie just went off on her classmates. Rightfully so, though. So we then see as Imogen got called down to the principal's office, right? So the principal tells Imogen that Karen confessed and that she will be Spirit Queen. So then we see Imogen, and she's telling the other girls exactly what happened. So she's freaking out because Clanton said something to her that freaked her out, that, like mother, like daughter. I will say that history is kind of repeating itself just a little bit, but not in a way that, not in the exact same way. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, because literally at the dance, history kind of repeated itself, but not exactly. She says that her mom wouldn't have done that her mom would have gotten rid of the video. I was like, girl, you didn't know your mama that well, because your mama was a mean girl. So Imogen says that, she doesn't really want to go to the dance, but Tabby's like, we all can go and support you as well. So that's what they're going to do. So then we see that nasty ass sheriff, and he's talking to Noah. So in a nutshell, he's threatening Noah and telling Noah, like, if you tell anybody what you saw, actually he ain't telling her, he's telling her, keep your motherfucking mouth shut, act like you didn't see shit. And I was like, ugh. So she says, okay, well, if I'm going to keep my mouth shut, I need a favor from you. So she wants to go to the dance, and he agreed to it. That is so disgusting. Nasty as hell. All right, you guys, I'm going to pause here, and we're going to wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, so it's Saturday, and it's the night of the dance. So we see as all the girls are getting ready for the dance, they all look beautiful. So Imogen, she tells them that after the dance that she wants to apologize to Karen and give Karen her crown. I was like, say what now? You want to do what? Give Karen your crown. Imogen. Karen. So we see Imogen. So all the girls have a mission to find Karen. So Imogen thought she found Karen, but unfortunately it was Kelly. So she says, so Imogen tells Kelly that she would like to apologize to Karen. So remember, I just told you guys what happened in the movie Carrie. That they had to, and I think it was actually like pig's blood or something like that they dumped on Carrie. Well, in this situation, they're not gonna dump actual blood on Imogen. It's just gonna be paint, because we see Kelly. Actually, in a sense, it kind of gives you the vibe of, if you guys are familiar with the movie White Chicks, right? Remember when Karen and Megan Vandergill wanted to get back at the girls, and they had the paint, and they were gonna dump it on the Vandergill sisters, and it actually backfired on them. It actually backfired in this situation too, right? So we see all the girls as they're looking for Karen, but each girl gets, kind of sidetracked by Mouse got, intercepted by Mouse. Noah got intercepted by her boyfriend. They ended up having sex. And Tabby got intercepted by Chip. So Principal Clanton, they announced Imogen as the spirit queen. So Imogen goes up to the actually what they noticed before she got called up is they noticed Imogen standing by herself, so they all went up to Imogen to ask Imogen to dance with them. So then Imogen got announced as the queen. So she steps on stage, and then I think it was Mouse who noticed Karen up in the rafters. So yep, it was Mouse. Mouse noticed her, and she tapped the other girls, and then they all looked, and they told Imogen to look up. So Imogen looks up, and there's Karen, right? So Karen can see Imogen looking at her, and then Karen noticed that Imogen's face changed, right? And in that moment, her face changed because A was behind her, and A pushed her right over the edge. I was like, damn. See you, Karen. So, in typical A fashion, now this, like I said, this A is a lot more ruthless than what the original A was in Pretty Little Liars. The original. Mona would never. Did Mona ever? I'm trying to remember, did Mona ever? Well, Mona was a bitch, and she was a crazy bitch at that. But I don't remember if Mona killed anybody. I have to go back and look. So, A sent each one of the girls a text message, right? So the text message says, basically, that 1 bully down, 5 more to go. If you're telling anyone about me, you're next. I was like, well, damn. This A is ruthless. I wouldn't fuck with this A. So I'm having some theories about A, right? Because everything with these girls is tying back to the name of the show, Original Sin. It ties back to the original it ties back to their mothers, right? Everything is back dealing with their mothers. So I'm wondering, because the girl who took herself out in the first episode, who was I guess she was the friend of the original Liars, or the original Mean Girls, right? She's not lit. She's no longer with us. That girl bled out. So I don't understand how she could have survived. Because I was thinking maybe this is, but you know what? I still do have a theory. This could be a family member of hers. This could be a family member. Because I was thinking at one point maybe this is like a child of hers, but I doubt it. Because she would have had to been, there's no way a baby would have survived that fall. So this could be like a niece, a nephew that heard the story of their aunt, how she, ended her life, and they want revenge on these girls because it's interesting. I do want you guys to tell me what your theories are with this. Leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And into the next one, stay safe out there, you guys. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear a mask, you guys. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.